Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to go over 4 mistakes that sellers make whenever they sell their home. We know that selling your home can be a really exciting process and you're really excited to get all of that equity out of your home, but there are a few mistakes that might prevent you from getting all that equity out. So go ahead and stick around. I'm Annie Haven.
And I'm Holly Haven.
And we're the Haven Home Team.
Okay, so when it's time to put your house on the market because you're ready to make a move, whether you're upsizing, downsizing, maybe you're being relocated, there's a lot of factors to consider before you actually put your home on the market. So Andy, what is that first consideration we really need to talk to our clients about, or maybe even just people watching the channel that are not in our market, that are thinking about selling their home?
Yeah, so the big thing here is pricing your home to sell. This is something that a lot of people, I think, in the last 2 years have kind of become a little bit, I don't know, they don't really understand the process of pricing your home these days. Obviously, you're trying to get the most equity out of your home, but if you don't price your home appropriately, it isn't going to sell, so you're never going to get that equity anyways. So I think the process here would be running comps. This is number one thing to finding out how much your home is actually worth. If you do get an appraisal, that's another way to actually see the home value. But through this process, you would get a real estate agent. You would look at the comps on your home, and then you would decide from there how the house should be strategically priced.
Yes, and pricing the home is absolutely that. It's strategic. So in the state of Texas, guys, we are considered a non-disclosure state, which means those sell prices are not public data. You can only get that information from a licensed real estate agent. So we don't want to know what the house down the street or next door is priced at today that's on the market. We want to know the most recent comps in your neighborhood or the most recent similar comps to your home, because not only is that what the general public is looking at, but it is also what an appraiser is looking at. So once we get into the contract process and then we have to have an appraisal from the lender, we need to make sure that that property is actually going to appraise. Any main things that we really see that sellers need to say, oh, I have this, I know this, and I'm going to get a lot of money for it.
Yeah, so a lot of times people think that a pull is going to be, oh my gosh, I paid $150,000, I'm going to up my home price $150,000. That is not the case at all, unfortunately. We have another video actually coming about this, and if you should buy a home that already has a pool, or if you should build your own pool. So this is just another thing to consider. Building a pool is not going to add that automatic value onto your home. Another thing would be a 3-car garage. Very desirable, and yes, it will increase the value of your home if you have a 3-car garage compared to a 2-car garage.
Yep, updated kitchens, updated bathrooms, and outdoor living spaces. Those are really where you get your money back if you're going to do upgrades on your home. So those are the things we would dive into when we're really comparing to other comps in your neighborhood.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, the next one we see a lot is home improvement, home maintenance.
This is a big one. This is something that a lot of people don't consider prior to selling their home. You may have been living comfortably in your home with 6 light bulbs out, but guess what? When people tour your home, they want to see the brightest and best version of your home. So that's just one thing that could cause some issues when selling your home is light bulbs, missing sockets or the covers on your light switches. Yes, plate covers, missing light fixtures in general. If you have kind of the little can lights and stuff like that and they haven't been replaced, there's lots of things that need to be done when improving your home. So that's something that we would consider when you go to sell.
Yeah, because those are the things that immediately when a buyer sees light bulbs out or missing plate cover, these are really, really minor fixes. But what it means to a buyer is this home has not been maintained properly. They automatically assume if you're not replacing this or fixing this, then you're not taking care of the HVAC or the water heater or the roof. And they immediately start in their head building up all of the things that could be wrong, even though there may be nothing wrong with the house. It really might be very small items. But on that same point, painting your front door, right? Cleaning up cobwebs, just that day-to-day clutter or dirt that happens because we live in our homes. Those are the really simplest things that we can do to improve that immediate first impression and sometimes even just add immediate value.
Yeah, and making sure that we do a pre-listing inspection. This would be something that you would pay for on your own. It's a third-party inspection, but it would kind of give you the heads up of what people are going to find in the inspection period after they're under contract, so that you as the seller don't have any surprises. It's really hard whenever you get the inspection back and you're already under contract and you're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea these things were a problem. And you could have prevented that with a third-party inspection prior to listing.
Yeah, and what that does is that keeps us in the higher price point. So if we get a contract at full price and then that buyer comes in, they do this inspection, they get all these little things. It doesn't have to be a bunch of big things. They want to start negotiating on price. Yeah. So by doing that inspection up front, think of it like a certified pre-owned car, right? If you go in before you list it, we do a full inspection. It costs like $500 or $600, guys. Go in and do all of the major repairs, hit all of those things that are really, they would stand out to you if you were the buyer. And let's treat it like a certified pre-owned home. And let's get that buyer in there that's ready to go. They may not even require an option period. So we have a lot of things we can do through negotiations and pricing that will actually you're going to recoup the cost of that inspection pretty quickly. Home presentation is another big one. And, things that we talked about in the last section, light bulbs, plates, those can all be considered part of that home presentation. But one of the other things, I know there's some things that we do specifically on our team when we're selling your house to try to get you the most money.
Yeah, so staging your home is going to be the number one biggest seller for presentation. It's going to help so much. It's something you can live with while you're in the home, but it actually makes it look like nobody lives there. It's amazing. The home is beautiful and everybody walks in and they're like, oh my gosh, I wish my home looked like this. And then they want to buy the home because your home looks amazing, right?
Right. And that doesn't always mean when people think of staging, they think, oh my gosh, you're going to take all my furniture out. You're going to bring in all new furniture. And that's not usually the case. Normally, we just bring in decor and fluff. So our stager actually goes through a process with our sellers. They give them a full outline of every single room, things to declutter, things to depersonalize. Think of this like you're going to be moving. You're putting your house on the market. Let's get started before we put it on the market. Let's get all of that extra clutter out, right? We all have closets that are full and stuff shoved under beds. And we want to get rid of all of those things. If you think of when you walk into an open house, you just want to buy the open house, like the model home, right? So you walk into that model home, that's what we want your home to really feel like to buyers. So we want you to be competitive with new home construction in our market. So
yeah, in that process, I'll kind of give some backstory on that. It would be decluttering large pieces of furniture or furniture that make the room feel small. It would be taking down your children's artwork. That's personal. People don't need to see that. So taking down anything that shows your religion. That's just something that typically buyers don't want to see in a home, or if they don't have the same religion as you, you don't want to be making them feel like they can't purchase the home because of the religion, if that makes sense.
It's really just about depersonalizing.
Yeah.
We want them to feel like, oh, I could live here. Sometimes we've seen some political paraphernalia that
Yes, that needs to be removed as well. If you have one of those flags in your teenage son's room, maybe we should remove that as well.
Yeah. And guys, please know that it is never meant to be offensive to the seller. Whatever your beliefs are, whatever your lifestyle is, we're all in. But when we're getting ready to sell your home, we want to bring you the most qualified buyers and we want to bring you as many as possible. So removing those little personal effects can definitely make an impact.
For sure.
Okay, we touched on this one in the first one because we talked about pricing.
Yeah, so pricing is a big one. And what comes with pricing is hiring a real estate agent. And although a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, 6%, that's outrageous. Well, what if you priced it at $500,000 under the estimated value of your home? You lost all of the money you could have actually gotten above list price, and you had to pay fees. So now you're way under what your home was valued at, and you already lost money. So that's where a real estate agent comes in. Yes, you pay us 6%. Yes, we work for you, but we're also there to help you value your home. Look at the comps in the neighborhood. Like we stated earlier, you can't find the comps in the neighborhood. If you're looking at Zillow, those prices may be completely incorrect. It might be what they were listed at. If a home was listed at $700,000, but they sold for $600,000, you may never see that, and your comps may be completely inflated. So in other terms, if you were to list it too high, you may sit on the market for months, and then you're wasting time and money, and you can't move into a new home. So that's the real point of a real estate agent. We're here to save you time and money in the long run and kind of do the work for you.
Definitely do the work for you. Guys, there's so many steps in the process, from getting the home listed to getting it under contract to getting it all the way to the closing table. From personal experience, I will have potentially 200 to 300 emails exchanged within that process. You guys have a job to do that you're doing every day, and our job is to come in and make sure that the sale of your largest financial investment is actually done properly. There's no missed documents. There's no delay at closing, right? Sometimes life happens, but then we're there to help you work through it. So we're there to be a guide and a resource for you, and really to take that entire professional approach so that the process goes as smoothly as possible.
Well, those are our 4 main things to avoid when selling your home. If you have any questions, or if you have honeydews that you need done, go ahead and drop a comment below. We have so many people in the area that help us with all of these things, with staging, with doing the honeydews you don't want to do and getting your home ready to sell. So if you have any questions, drop that below. We have more videos coming this week and next week. So if you want to check those out on the channel.
All right. Like, subscribe, leave us a comment. We'll chat soon, guys.
Bye, guys.